Yeah, my name's Manny, and I claim to know something about Lean and Six Sigma, what that means is at cocktail parties, I can board people on 2 topics, not just one.
Good afternoon, everyone. CJ, I'm just a little bit north of you, north of USA, Canada, Toronto, and good to have you all. We'll share our best practices and just have fun. Thank you.
There's big money in training. A lot of companies spend a lot of time and money doing it. You can see some factoids here, and I've even got some sources. But they're big numbers too. I mean, look, on average, you're spending more than $1,200 per employee, and the time is really probably even more important than the money. Now look at the effectiveness. Of course, I was going through places like training type magazines and whatnot. So of course they're showing that training absolutely is a multiplier of good things happening. So why does it fail? Because people are unprepared, they're unfocused. They're doing a lot of things that we're going to talk about in a minute. One of the things that we wanted to do here, folks, is show you some online training techniques, and just to prove that we eat our own cooking here. If you're not familiar with Slido, Slido is a way that you can make your meetings interactive. It is free for occasional use, and that's why I've got 3 different activities in here. If you go to slido.com and then put in that number, the 323-0237, please use single words. Typically my folks, say it's always painful when you inflict training on others because they don't appreciate it as much as the trainer does. So here, when you're driving disengagement, you're probably doing one of these few things, and I've got my 3 favorites on the left, and then I've got some of the others on the right. So my 3 favorite ways of driving disengagement are spray and pray. Right? Just throw it all out there. People who are smart enough, they'll sort through what they need. Read every word and face the screen while you do it so you're not distracted by that pesky audience. That's my second one. And then really focus on delivering the material, because that's all I was paid to do, without asking people how they might integrate it into their life or improvement plans. So you can see the quote from Benjamin Franklin. And really, I love that quote because it's true. People forget what you tell them. They do remember what they were involved in. Here's another question, just again showing how easy Slido is. This one should be a little bit faster. So how do you drive engagement in the classroom? And if you notice, when I advance to this slide, Slido's smart enough that it prompts you on your phone, and it puts this up. So what's currently number 4 was my version of snark. Like I know some trainers, they think that students are engaged if they actually show up to class. So hopefully that really is like down at the bottom, because that wasn't meant to be a serious choice. Some engagement and how to apply this stuff I think is important. I myself favor what's number 2, which is we can talk about what you would do in the situation, or I love the learn and do approach when I can. So that's personally what I'm trying for.
For me, the most important is, can I apply this right away? Whatever I'm seeing, can I apply it now? Not even tomorrow, not even after 1 hour, right now.
How can I do it now? Yep, absolutely. You can do any number of things, but one of them is this idea of active learning. And when I say active, not just people are talking about it, but they're doing. So for this particular Greenbelt class that I'm working on now, where I'm on the road today, every class day I've brought in different items to work on. Today, we're going through some lean concepts, so I've got my Hot Wheels track. The question becomes, how do you know if you know enough to make a good decision about anything? If I can't answer the 5W2H of a situation, then I don't understand it well enough to be able to make a good decision about it. So just keep that in mind. Who, what, when, where, why, how much, how often, how bad. Apparently I can't count either because that's at least 3 hows, but you know what I mean. So what are some of the things that we want to do? I'm going to show you a little bit of some of these. I've got a short video I put together with some of my classes. So here's a little bit about the magic ball exercise, and this is just a great one. You can get the worksheet, you can get the video related to that, or feel free to download the quick start guide, which gives you everything you need to know and tells you how to use it. Now, I personally prefer using juggling balls, but I will tell you that you can use tennis balls if you don't mind chasing them when they roll underneath chairs and tables and such. Or I've even done it with pieces of paper, right? Take a piece of paper, crumple it up, do that 3 times, and you too can run the magic ball exercise. So feel free to take a look at those things. And Gina, that's what I was hoping you'd be able to throw out there for links, just because I'm going to be moving on.
Than we need here?
Yeah, I should be handing it over. Everybody's handing it.
I don't know how you guys want to do it, but let's see what we can do. All right. Less than 2 seconds. I can live with that. 1.78. Now, do any of you remember what we started at?
Get across all the balls.
15.
All right, guys, on 3 then. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and go.
Stop.
Let's try that again. Remember, you got to tell me done, James, when you're done. Whoa! There was an assist there. Nice. Guys, ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3, go. Done. Get the hell out.
All right.
I need to see that again. On 3. 1, 2, 3, go. Done. People love this. It doesn't really matter the topic of the training because everybody wants to see how they're spending their time. I suggest doing it for 3 days. Feel free to download and watch the video. There's QR codes everywhere. I think that's a big deal. Language Reactor is a great free way to do it. Here, in fact, is a screen grab from the diary video, and you can see I do the most in English versus Spanish, and so that's what I'm set to as a default. But it works great, and it's got a ton of languages, and you don't have to log in, which appeals to the libertarian part of my personality. Feedback mechanisms is another big, and you can do this online or in person, but what I like to do is put a piece of flip chart paper by the door with some post-it notes, as part of training. And so if you take a look on the left-hand side, I'll draw 2 lines, and I'll write start, stop, and then continue, and that happens to be the name of this exercise. What should we start doing? What should we stop doing? And what should we continue doing? So I have gotten all of those comments before, and so that's why it was easy to write those. Now, another version is when I think about the class plus delta. And it's just, things that were good, things were not so good. So it's great for immediate feedback. People feel like they're engaged. Obviously, they're doing things, especially if the trainer pays attention to what's going on and makes an adjustment. So it's just a great thing, right? I tell people, if you're going to tell me that I'm awful, in the feedback forms, the evaluation forms at the end, it's too late. Like that kind of feedback needs to be given early so that I can make some on-field adjustments, so to speak. So anyway, last one that I want to talk about is the electronic polling. You've been seeing some of this.
I have realized the best way to teach is to engage the people. That's exactly what we teach. Engage the people who are working in the process, whether it's Lean, whether it's Six Sigma, and now hardly ever any class which I do, I don't like to do just slides. If I'm training, I would love people to take away, utilize post-its. This is a very simple example in a collision shop where we were training the people on Lean and just doing a Lean 8 waste exercise. And very simple, very easy. You don't need to be a PhD to fill out a sticky note. Everybody can do it. As an example, this is from my open classes. Whenever I do open classes, if I have 20 people in the class, I will ask 5 people per group, and they choose one of the process, how to do Kaizen events. So I have a slide running on the left, and people are actually on the walls. One group is on the left side of the wall, one group is on the right side of the wall, and they're all working on one problem or one process, step by step, following my slides. This is one of the manufacturing plant here in Toronto, which I'm training, and you won't believe it, the frontline people are utilizing paper cuts and a big, large paper to create their own value stream map. And again, education has nothing to do with Lean tools. It's up to us as trainer, how simple, how easy we can make it. And you'll be amazed. We believe Lean Six Sigma professional, that people are limitless. And I have worked with all kind of people from the world, and the best part we all have is we all have knowledge. Language could be a little bit of barrier, but utilizing these tools and methodologies even bring the best out of the people who don't speak English. And sometimes in our class, we find people who don't speak English as their first language. But do remember, everybody has knowledge. All we need to know is how to get to their level and engage them. So simple, but super powerful tool. Same thing, teaching root cause analysis, fishbone diagram, where you'll find this funny. I use the movie imitation game, simulations, games, exercises. On the left hand, on the right hand, this is a nuclear power plant. Here, this is a manufacturing plant. Here, these are the cannabis growers. Up north, I'm pretty sure in some states in US also, the cannabis is legal, so they're growing legal cannabis. But the training methods is all tactile. I have gone to a dollar store, whatever you call their Dollarama. I bought all the cars, around 15, 16 pieces, and we are trying to teach them lean concepts of value, waste, one-piece flow, 5S, all through the game. Within half an hour, 1 hour, we can teach people on 5S, one-piece flow, and you name it. There is at least 20 lessons. People can learn that pretty quickly. The basics, the foundation of the whole Toyota and the house of Toyota within 1 hour. Same thing with the Lego, 6-7 people. They have to make this. In round 1, we confuse them on purpose. Round 2, they do a PDCA. Before they do round 2 PDCA, they play the round 2. Same thing. They learn about 20 lean concepts. Simple. Same thing like a healthcare maintenance team. And what they are making is a MRI machine. Same concept. It doesn't mean that always people have to be an assembly line. You know, I do a lot of work outside of sectors, public service, healthcare, and they don't like when you try to do one-piece flow games with them. So try to make the games fit the needs and people take it away. Yes, this was my MRI machine. This is the problem I'm facing. So I do spend a lot of time, at least a day to 3 days, preparing for those trainings. And I do talk to the stakeholder, the director of maintenance. I met this director of maintenance to make sure that this training really sticks and it's really to their problems and opportunity. Same thing. This is a nuclear power plant. They are making a nuclear power plant. These are the feeder pipes. This is the calendaria and same concept. These are the senior people who are refurbishing a nuclear power plant here in Canada. Simple, easy, tactile. I utilize card drop game where there are 3 teams, 2 people standing left, right, and they have to drop the cards. And the cards must drop in the hole. If it falls outside, it's a defect. So they learn the concept of roll throughput yield. Simple. These games, I don't think people will ever forget. Anytime they have a problem in their process or jobs, they will quickly go back. Oh, I remember that. Roll throughput yield. Somebody asked, how do we do this online? COVID changed the things. So we had to think about how to play one-piece flow game, how to do brainstorming sticky notes exercises, how to teach Kanban tools. So we had to come out with these technologies, these tools. And one of the tools which I use is Mural. And you can use Microsoft Office also, Microsoft Teams, all simple but amazing stuff. We were forced to almost 2-3 years to utilize these tools because, you know, we also have to put the food on the plate as Lean Six Sigma professionals. And we were also thinking of the best ways. Thanks to Microsoft Teams, thanks to whiteboarding, thanks to Mural. This is a complete one-piece flow game, which you saw in the car manufacturing or the Lego game, but online. You could be sitting in India, Mexico, US. You can play this game. This could be you. This could be person in India. This could be person in Mexico. This could be person in France. Doesn't matter. All has to have access to this file. Same thing like Mary showed us the Slido. A simple Kanban board where people can create the stickies. Already software development, if you have heard about Agile and Scrum, a lot of Agile and Scrum teams are already using whiteboards. Same thing, the one-piece flow game, replacing the tactile games which I showed, the Lego or the car or the nuclear reactor. You can do this online. Same thing for the group facilitation events, to do root cause analysis, to do brainstorming, to do visioning session. You can use Mural where there is group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5. You just need to make sure that you are ready for this day. I suggest please spend good time We all know about plan, do, check, act, right? Plan, do, check, act. The foundation of what we teach, Lean Six Sigma. Please spend a lot of time in planning, whether it's a car game, whether it's Lego, whether it's process mapping, whether it's this Mural. Spend a lot of time in PDCA. Let's eat our own medicine. Microsoft Teams. What I do is I just create a very simple OneDrive folder and everybody comes together. This is my last class. 30 people were in the class, 20 people. They were all filling out within 1 minute. They were giving me their introduction. Are they present? Did they face this problem? All simple but amazing stuff. But do not forget, the most important thing is Gemba. Gemba means a place where value is created. It's amazing to train them in the classroom. You do need to train them in the classroom. And if anybody is aware of change management philosophy, awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, reinforcement, you want to bring a change, you want to change their habits of how they run the operations today to the operations of tomorrow, you will have to do some classroom. You will have to raise their awareness. You will have to get them some desire. You will have to give them the classroom training. But when it comes to the ability and reinforcement part, I feel there is nothing better than doing and teaching them in their process. And this is pictures from a cannabis plant, and they're applying this. KPI boards, Kanban boards, and I'm good. Thank you for listening to me. Back to Many. How many seconds?
46.0.
So this was one, and the other one is Lego. No chatting. Focus on quality. Station 1, Station 2, Station 3, Station 4, Station 5 and 6. You can do pre-assemblies after the customer order. So just to answer the question now, I think people can hear me better. I spend a lot of time. If a hospital calls me for a training, I make sure, even if it has to be on my time, I only quote them the day or the 2 day. I make sure I spend 1 or 2 hours talking to the sponsor to make sure the training feeds into their need and problems and processes. Otherwise, I don't have fun. Good time in PDCA. Any other question for Lego?
I do see a question about MRI exercise participants, doctors, and are the nuclear plant participants engineers and technicians?
Yes. So in the MRI example, they were all maintenance manager, and they also brought the vendors who are from E or different piping vendors or electrical vendors. And in the nuclear power plant also, we had the Bruce Power, which is our nuclear power plant north of us, and the vendors were there. And the whole goal of this exercise was to don't work in silos, work together as a team, one objective. Even the nuclear power plants we have here, the main focus is one team, but still people work in silos. So breaking those silos. And now I'm going individually into each vendor because they love it. And they all want to work together with the nuclear power plant, or the hospital wants to work with their, vendors, because all of us.
Like I said, just talking about how using the time diary has really changed some of my participants and their attitudes. It's really pretty interesting, because most people, if you ask them, they don't know how much time they spend on anything until they actually start tracking it. And the beauty of the time diary, let me see if I can share that slide again. Wherever you're joining us from, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Thanks for joining. I look forward to seeing you again on the LED webinar series.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank
Bye
you.
now, folks.